Our videos here at SkillCapped give you everything you need to know to climb. That's just a fact. But a common pain point that you might be feeling is you can watch all the videos and feel like you know a lot more than before, but you struggle to apply the knowledge. If this sounds like you, this video could be what you need to fix that problem. I'm going to use a game where I'm playing Jax in low plat high gold MMR to show you the number one thing you can do to improve and actually try to apply that knowledge. And of course, if you have never watched a SkillCapped video or are new to the channel, don't worry, as this video will be very useful regardless. So let's get started. Before we do anything, let's catch you up to what has happened so far in this game. I'm on Jax vs Mordekaiser top and I solo kill Mordekaiser 3 times. As a fed bruiser, I'm set up to carry this game from here. The enemy mid laner Vi even donated me a kill trying to dive me for whatever reason. The thing is, I actually lose this game. It's rare that I will lose while smurfing with this big of a lead, but if I was a low elo player, how could I go about improving from this game? At the end of the day, improving is what you should be after anyways. The wins will come naturally after that. So let's figure out how I lose this game. The best way to go about this is just by looking at deaths. My first death was really early in the game, which wasn't too important, but my second one is coming up here after I just barely missed this kill on Vi. Missing the kill on her isn't that big of a deal. It was just a damage calculation mistake, and it was a bit unlucky as her shield just barely saved her. But after she recalls, look at the minimap here. Mord and Karma are near the dragon that is spawning, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the enemy jungler, who is Kayn, must be down there. Why would the enemy mid and support be a dragon with their jungler top lane? Because of what I see, I go for the tower and the enemy jungler ganks me and kills me. The first thing I need to do is look at the actual gank and see if I could have survived or played it better. I didn't play it perfect, but no matter how many times I look at it, I don't see a way I can survive this without flash or a ward to ward jump with. So now that it's clear I couldn't have survived, it's also clear what my main mistake was. Do you know what the main issue was here? The problem is, I was thinking like it was high elo and just assuming what the enemy jungler was based off the other members of the enemy team. The safest and correct way to play this is by making sure I see Kayn first, otherwise I could just recall and TP back in for the tower, as Kayn wouldn't be able to kill me if I have at least 75% health. This is actually a really important concept in general, especially in low elo where players can be doing random stuff like in this situation. For example, let's say the enemy top lane is like 50% health, and you can definitely dive them, but it will be close, so if the enemy jungler shows up, you would die. That's a scenario where you wait to see the enemy jungle on the minimap before doing anything too crazy. Save your mobility or important cooldowns like Jax E in case the enemy jungler is there waiting for you to dive. Alright, moving on to the next death now, which comes a few minutes later after I grab red buff and I'm looking to split push top lane. I see Mordekaiser farming this wave way too far up, so I definitely need to punish him for this. I don't catch him here though, which could have been from bad pathing, it was hard to tell, but he uses his E to push me away from stunning him as well, so I have to back off. After that, Mordekaiser walks back up to me like this. Now, it's obvious that one or two more people have to be here. Mord definitely does not think that he can fight me while 3 levels down. But let's see what happens. So I end up dying here in the 1v2, but I got one of them. The first thing I need to ask myself is, was this worth it? Definitely not. I'm 3 levels up and had red buff. I should never be trading 1 for 1 like this. Then I need to look back at this and think about if this play was even possible in the first place. I knew Vi was coming and voluntarily took this as a limit test, which is something we'll talk about in a moment. But watching the fight again, I used my E too late and let Vi hit me with Q, auto, and E before I used it. This popped her W and shredded my armor from 184 to 147. If I popped E as her Q was hitting me, I could have avoided that. Also, I wasted my Q on Mordekaiser. He was stunned, so I didn't need to waste my gap closer and or escape tool to finish him. If I didn't waste it, I could have potentially survived by jumping away to a minion. So because I didn't play it perfectly and it was this close, it's safe to say this 1v2 was possible. Let's talk about limit testing a little bit though. Limit testing is a crucial skill to understand and implement into your gameplay, or you'll never improve at a fast rate. The issue is, a lot of players don't know what is a limit test and what's just trolling. The way I decide that is simple. Limit testing is when you have good reasoning on why you took the fight that you did and you knew it would be pretty close, but you weren't entirely sure what the outcome would be. Trolling is when you have no thought process behind the decision and you just did it for fun. To show you an example, let's look at the first and second kills I got on Mordekaiser in this lane. The first one, I killed him after TPing back in and he used his ult. Then when he got back to lane, look at our health difference. I have no potions and half health. But I know he doesn't have ult and I do. I don't think that's enough though for me to win, so I bait out his Q first then jump in. Honestly, it shouldn't even been this close. Mord's last Q definitely shouldn't have hit me and I got scammed there. But I was repaid by leveling up right before his next auto killed me. The point here should be clear though. I had very good reasoning to think I could win this, but it was impossible to be sure with the amount of health I had compared to him, so it was a limit test. I've been playing the game for 10 years now, so I've limit tested a lot, and I know my limits pretty well. This also goes back to how improving is more important than winning. If you never limit test because you're afraid to lose, you won't improve and you'll be hard stuck. Trust me on this. Getting back to the gameplay though, my next death was also the mid-test where I voluntarily took a 1v2 versus Mordekaiser and Vi again, and just barely didn't get both kills. It was pretty unlucky, but I also misplayed slightly. I wasted flash and could have just fought Mordekaiser after Vi flashed away. I didn't need to run for so long, but once again, I had reason to try and take this 1v2. I'm level 13 and Mordekaiser is 0-7. I'm honestly surprised these are even difficult 1v2s. If I was something like Riven, it wouldn't even be close, but it is what it is. Moving on to my next death though, it's basically the exact same thing except this time it turns into 1v3. I get the Mordekaiser kill, Vi just barely survives once again, and I die to Kayn. These fights were so unlucky I remember being really frustrated. And obviously my teammates are useless and can make this game much easier just by shadowing me. But if I focus on them I don't learn anything. You can't change what your team does, you can only change your own gameplay. Anyways, I head to bot lane after I respawn as I see Jhin is pushing alone. He shouldn't push anymore after that wave, but I go around the side just in case. Luckily for me, he actually kept pushing, so this should be a free kill. I misplayed a little bit though and didn't take into consideration that he had flash. I didn't need to use my Q, I could have just ran at him and used Q after he flashed. And thanks to Riot, we have these stupid Hextech gates in the game, so he uses that and I follow. He uses another thing that shouldn't be in the game, Gale Force, but that's a talk for another time. But he used Gale Force and heals, so he survives a bit longer, but I do end up getting him in the end. Problem is, I'm deep in the enemy jungle now. Kayn is dead though, and Karma's in our top jungle, so I take red buff and head to mid lane. Karma shouldn't be solo pushing mid, so I quickly kill her, then start working on Mordekaiser, who's also a quick kill. I chase Vi after that and get her as well, so now I'm back in a really good position to carry the game again. But after I spend gold, a fight breaks out in our top jungle, so I take the Hex Gate. I focus Kayn since he's worth more gold than the rest, and I get the kill. Then I turn my sights to Jhin, and I land a perfect E to stun him and Mordekaiser, and I get Jhin right before Mord ults me. Things seem to be going well, but I just barely die again, and it was really unlucky. But I did misplay kind of hard at one point in that fight. Let's watch it again and see if you can spot it. Did you catch it? The big misplay was when I was fighting Mordekaiser. I wasn't using my W every time it was up. My W is a really short cooldown, so if I used it every time it came up, I would have got at least 1 or 2 more Ws in there, which would have been enough to kill Mord. Like I said, I did get really unlucky though, because when he walked into the brush, Karma was the first target visible, so my Q was used on her instead of Mord. If Mord dies, Triumph would give me the health to kill Karma as well. Alright, we're going to skip ahead a bit now to one last important play to go over, which was a big contributor to why we lost. I have 5 items at this point, sitting at 15 and 7. I'm arriving to a fight in mid, where I flash on Karma, then Jhin runs away. Jhin starts ulting, and I'm pretty sure my Draven literally just didn't even realize that was happening, because I was blocking for him and he kept running away, so I just let him die. I dodge Vi Q after that and kill her, then use my red buff to slow Jhin and catch him to get the kill as well for the ace. I take mid tower, and I see they have 2 dead still, and I wanted to see what the new dragon would be like if we got the soul. If you know anything about me, I hate dragons. They're just bait and lead to throws, but since it's new I said whatever, let me try and get it. Well, this was a terrible decision because I had no ult or wards to ward jump, so I end up dying to Kayn and Karma while trying to get the fruit. Then all my teammates die as well. So I blame this death on 3 things. First, my own stupidity going to dragon in that situation. Second, Blue Kayn being an abomination of a champion that can travel across the map at insane speeds with his really disgusting E. And third, the gross Hextech gates that let them go from base to dragon in under 10 seconds. The real problem was the decision to do dragon, but I had to rant a bit there. Alright guys, so this video is basically an example of how I review my gameplay if I'm trying to improve and what I'm thinking about. If you have this mentality, you'll improve very fast. Don't get too focused on winning and just focus on improving.
Now, what you find here on YouTube is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to unlock your true potential, then you need to dive into SkillCapped.com. We have the largest catalog of League of Legends guides in the entire world, with over 1,500 guides and 350 unique courses. You get brand new guides every week exclusive to our website, along with our Smurf commentaries where our challenger experts walk you through how to carry out of the exact rank you're stuck in. Still unsure? Well, you can have all your questions answered by those same challenger experts. Need one-on-one coaching? We got you covered with hand-picked coaches trained to the highest standard. Don't have time for that? Use Direct Pro. Pick a past game you played and within 24 hours get a personalized video from a top 100 challenger player breaking down exactly what you can do better. The best part, all of this comes with a rank improvement guarantee. If you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using SkillCapped, you can claim a refund, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Head to SkillCapped.com and get the rank you've always wanted. Link in the description below.
That's going to bring us to the end of this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.